YouTube, Instagram, Twitter X,
Man,
Twitter.
it's Twitter, dog. It's Twitter. It's Twitter. We ain't changing the name. I'm an old black person. It's gonna be Twitter until for the foreseeable future, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Twitter. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe. But also, man, or you can get everything all in one spot at www.splashcast.com. You go there, you see the latest pregame, the latest episodes, along with our shorts, video shorts as well. That is the youngest
Wreck it,
youngest
Reezy,
member
wreck
of
it,
the
Reezy.
team. My daughter Kyrielle. She is providing the soundtrack, which is toys banging on walls. So
I like that. I would like to make her the assistant creative director. I like where you're going with the music thing, Reezy. And me and you will collaborate later. I look forward to it.
Yeah, man. So, but welcome, man. Yeah, on YouTube. So appreciate it, man. Where you want to start at? Start from last night. Hey, you want to start it last night?
I guess we can talk about last night for a little bit. I want to thank the Pac-12. Y'all provided us with a hell of a game last night from top to bottom. We got to see two really good teams play a really good football game. It's one of those situations where the fans win. Unfortunately, Oregon did lose. They put up a valiant effort. I saw RG3 say this, and I surely believe it. I can't say that Oregon doesn't belong in the top four.
Yes, you can.
After what I saw, I don't feel comfortable saying that. I think that they could very well be one of the top four teams in the country.
I think talent-wise they do. I think eye test-wise they could probably compete with anybody. But suppose when we'll talk about these other teams, suppose another one-loss team loses, right? You could say that about them too. Every team that makes it to this point, this is what the final 8 teams before you get. This is basically the semifinal. Every team that makes it to this point can get in and play and probably hold themselves up very well against the rest of the teams. If you want to talk about SEC, yeah, you can. But I mean, I think Florida State healthy could hold themselves up against any team in the top 8. I think it's just unfortunate. Yeah. I think they can make it. I think Oregon could compete and get on a run and win the championship, but it won't happen this year. That's just unfortunate. That's the way the cookie crumbles. It sucks.
But I do think that they're one of the top 4 or 5, and this is for me a reason that they should have been 8 always. 12 is too many. I'm going to say that, just like I said, 4 was too few. I don't know why we play this game of Goldilocks when it's very evident to me, but this is the reason we should have went to an 18 playoff. But
yeah, 12 seems like overkill.
More money, more games to sell. But I want to tell Morgan and Dan Lannon, y'all had a hell of a season. Bo Nix, we didn't believe you. We didn't believe you at any point during this season, and you proved us wrong basically the entire season. Even in the game that you lost, you put up a valiant effort. Kudos to those guys. Michael Penix Jr., this is a guy I believed in since they thought he was a 3rd rounder. You played a hell of a game too.
I'm telling you, man, Michael Penix Jr., I do say that he needed. I saw that Jaden Daniels is now the favorite to be the Heisman, like overwhelming favorite. Now that Bo Nix, Bo Nix had a game, I guess. He had a really good game. I mean, he was good. And Michael Penix Jr. was okay. He was 319, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Neither one of them to me, neither one of them went and won the game, right? Like it was running the ball in defense. Fair.
You played against one of the top 5 teams in the country though. Like I got 319
twice for the
yards.
second time. Yeah.
Yeah, like what else you need? You want 400 yards against? I'm not playing on rookie, right? I know I need y'all to understand that. I'm playing against.
Well, the pick actually hurt. The pick hurt in the 3rd quarter. That actually gave Oregon for them to forego. I'm talking about in terms of the Heisman. Like,
yeah.
In terms of the Heisman, I think both of them ended up. I hate to say it because they weren't bad, but they ended up losing the Heisman this year with that, and that sucks.
If I lost the Heisman because I threw 1 interception in my conference championship game, I think you're asking a whole lot from me. you're surely asking a ton. Oh, I could see if it was like, oh, well, he threw multiple picks or something like he threw one
Well, I mean, the
interception.
resume. If you look at resume, I mean, Jaden Daniels has a better statistical year than like anybody,
I agree.
including past Heisman winners. Just that they lost, and that's the reason that they won't.
Yeah, that's the other part. I went undefeated. I don't know. Whoever you pick, I'm comfortable with. I probably lean a little bit toward.
Fair.
I lean a little bit towards Penix, but I don't hate Jaden Daniels. And let me be very clear. What's up, Reezy? I heard that. Atlanta Falcons would love to have both of these quarterbacks. Hell, I would like to draft both of them if possible, just so we can figure out our quarterback situation. That would be extremely valuable to me. So congratulations.
I will say Bo Nix made some throws that impressed me. He looks like the next Will Levis. He reminds me a lot of Will Levis.
That's a compliment and a shot in there together. You just got
It is.
I mean,
but I did like this game, man.
Desmond Ritter.
The Pac-12. I will say this: it sucks that y'all put on this good of a season on your way out. Like if y'all had been doing this for the last 2 or 3 years, you probably would still have a conference.
How long before you think they get the band back together? Oh, okay, watch and see.
You think your team's gonna go back? Like USC and UCLA gonna leave? Oh
man, yo, just like you want Howard and Hampton back in the MEAC, they're gonna go back. I'm gonna tell you. That traveling is gonna get humbling very soon.
Ooh, that budget's gonna be crazy.
That bowling team having not going over there. No.
Go for LA to Illinois.
Yeah. I'm not bowling in Columbus, dog. Hell no. My parents not going to that. I'm going to get a regular job. I'm not joining the PBA. Either y'all gonna make this acceptable to me, or I'm gonna get the hell on, bro. I'll get right down to any of these neighborhood bowling alleys and beat up on these people's parents if I have to. But
that's
I'm
funny.
not going to.
I didn't even think about the bowling team, dog.
No, that's the part that's frustrating. Is nobody thinks about they think about the high level. Hey, I mean, basketball is gonna struggle. Like,
I don't think so. They play. They'll make enough money, and basketball is the new selling point for them.
You got to travel though. If I gotta use in the middle of the week, I gotta go to Columbus. Man, we'll talk about that on the pod.
But shout out to Washington, man. You made it there. So where do you want to start?
Let's start. We start now with HBCU this week. There is the SWAC championship that will be on ESPN at 3 p.m. between Prairie View and Florida A&M. This game will be played in Tallahassee. And it is a beautiful.
This game is played in Atlanta.
No, this says
SWAC championship. Nope, HBCU. There you go. SWAC championship. Yeah, it's in Tallahassee. Ooh,
Bragg Memorial Stadium, 3 p.m.
They're gonna beat the brakes off of what you call it. Unfortunately,
I'm not. Prairie View, this is your opportunity.
No,
this is your shot.
Y'all better make it a defensive battle.
We said that about North Carolina Central. We see how that played out. We said the same. I'm gonna say, hey man, this is two really good teams. I do believe Prairie View to be a good football team. I do believe FAMU to just be a better football team. But I think that Bubba McDowell understands the magnitude of this game. He prepares his team properly, and this is not the shellacking that we probably expect. I think the FAMU wins by 2 touchdowns or less.
I think FAMU wins by 2 touchdowns or more. I think that they
hold on.
I think they end up running away with it.
6-pack on that?
No, not betting the spread.
You just got to test the waters. It's championship weekend. You got to test. So we both pick it.
So we both got FAMU. Anybody want to take Prairie View out there? I don't have the chat up this time, so I can't see the Instagram chat. But anybody want to take Prairie View this time? It is okay.
Reese, is that you? You want a 6-pack on Prairie View?
She might.
All right. Next up, we are moving to the Big 12. This game is Oklahoma State versus Texas. This will be played in Arlington at the Star, which is the appropriate place for this one to be played. They have Texas as the 88% favorite. So not many people picking Oklahoma State and Mike Gundy. I will say that Mike Gundy did win the Big 12 Coach of the Year. He has had a,
Sure. They were never gonna get
he
at Steve Sarkisian. They leaving.
that too. There is some beef between that. There are people on both sides that believe that Sarkisian has done a lot. They also say that he's had the best roster. They say that Mike Gundy has turned around a team that kind of struggled last year. But this is the best part about football. We get to the end. We get to see who is a better team, and at that point, you can have a different conversation. I'm picking Texas by a lot in this game.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah. Oklahoma
I think
State. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think that Quinn Ewers is going to try to reinstate himself as the big man on campus, considering it sounds like he's going to come back. And I think that this is one of the final preparation games as they prepare to try to make a way into the playoff and also make an interest into the SEC next year. What you got?
So I got Quinn Ewers. I didn't know he's only 20 years old. 1, 2. He said he's coming. He's hinted at coming back, and he's coming back
Walt,
because he thinks that next year he'll be better positioned in next year's starting class, quarterback class. I don't know about that one now, but we'll see. I think Texas wins this game. College Game Day did a special about the Oklahoma State-Texas rivalry and how
they dropped a dead cow outside the frat house this year. So
wild crazy. But how Oklahoma State has held every time Texas is ranked high, Oklahoma State has held the lead in the game by like 21 points. And every time they lose, they blow it. So I think that's going to happen again. I think Oklahoma State's going to go at like 21-7. And Texas is just going to blow the doors off of them in the third quarter and win comfortably.
Oh, wow. So you think fireworks?
Yeah. What? In the Big 12? You think it's going to be some defense?
I think the Texas understands the magnitude of this game. They understand, hey, this is your opportunity to make a play to get into the playoffs. And this also is, hey, SEC, we here now. And if you don't take this game that seriously, it will be very bad for you. And it'll be embarrassing for you.
I tell you what, the SEC would just be the bee's knees if they somehow got
the bees and knees.
If they somehow got, they would just be smitten. If they somehow got, like Alabama gets in, Georgia gets in, and Texas gets in. Do you know how sick of people will probably stop watching college football?
Oh man, you know who would tear it up? The Big Ten people be sick, boy. Big Ten people will just, you're right. They just like, you know what? We're going to be the leaders of the alliance now. We won't participate anymore. We'll start our own conference somewhere that nobody will care about because it's sorry-ass football. It's a different discussion for a different day. My bad if I hurt your feelings. If I stepped on your toes, we're still toes. Next up, we are going to the American Atlantic Conference. This will be SMU versus Tulane. They are playing this game in New Orleans.
Oh, super Tulane. It's a home game.
Yeah. Which is got to be nice. SMU is the favorite. 75% of the people pick them to win, 25% pick Tulane. I'm not going to lie to you. Both of these teams are undefeated in conference play. Tulane is 11-1. SMU is 10-2. This is interesting.
I'm taking Tulane because they're at home. Back-to-back New Year's Six bowls for that team, with all of this movement going along in these conferences.
11-1 Tulane is impressive.
If they can win another New Year's Six bowl, look for them to move up. They will move up out of the. I mean, I think isn't SMU going to ACC?
Yes. Remember, they paid the money so that they could get out.
Tulane out of there. Tulane's probably going to end up going to somewhere. The new Pac-12, whatever that's going to be.
Well, there is no new Pac-12. They merged with the Mountain West Conference. They'll play in some type of schedule next year. That just came out. But yeah, I'm an uninterested third party in this game, to be honest. I just would like to see a good football game, but Reggie got Tulane. All right, we'll go with Tulane. But yeah, this is just one of those games I want to watch and see if I can identify some players who might be drafted. Next up,
I say I'm not
let's
interested in anything you have to offer besides how
no,
you can benefit
nah.
me in the future.
Sometimes I like to watch a game and just be like, all right, let's see who the really good football players. I don't have to have like an emotional tie to all of them. Next,
They got a few players they have in the league, so we'll find one.
next up, Michigan versus Iowa in the Big Ten Championship. This one will be played in Indianapolis. We're not going to spend a lot of time here. Michigan should
It's gonna be like paint dry.
whoop Iowa's ass. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I am not the biggest believer in JJ McCarthy or Michigan. I think that this is the trickiest of baggiest of games for them, where they've done everything that they've needed to all season, and this is the point where Michigan could potentially have a letdown. I'm gonna be honest, I would love to see Iowa win this game. Thrilled. I would dance on Michigan's grave. But we have to see it happen first. I do think that Michigan probably takes care of business at home.
Man,
Y'all more than welcome to lose.
Look, I got Michigan winning. You have to make that choice. You have to be from Iowa to pick Iowa. But everything Michigan does well on offense, Iowa does well on defense. Michigan likes to run the ball and play action pass. Iowa likes to stop the run, and they have a playmaking. They have all of the white cornerbacks, and they have one this year who is
the guys who are.
Oh, he's not playing, but he is fantastic. Ricky DeJean, if you go look at him, he is going to be a cornerback in the NFL.
Or the XFL or the Canadian Football League.
No. They keep him in the league. They just convert him to safety. That's all they do.
Or outside linebacker, or he'll just turn into Taysom Hill. But cornerback, he will surely not play.
No, I'm telling you, go watch him. I'm telling you, you answered in the bias that I expected. You need to go watch him, dog. I'm telling you.
There is no bias here. The last Anglo-Saxon cornerback the NFL had was a judge.
There's one in the league now to play for Tampa Bay. Oh, you talking about a start? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason Seymour. They're moving to safety. But with that being said, Iowa is not going to win this game. They're going to muck it up. They're going to slow it down. This is going to be like watching paint dry. Michigan is going to hit a big play to win by 10, 24-14 at the end of the game. That's what's going to happen, and Michigan's going to get in. I would love to see chaos, though. Y'all always underplay Iowa, and somehow they do something wild every year. They're due for something this year. They're due for it.
And I don't see them disappointing at this point. So, yeah, we both got Michigan in this game. Next up is the ACC championship game. This is the game that is Louisville versus Florida State. Louisville at 14, Florida State at 4. This game will be played in a chilly Charlotte, North Carolina at 45 degrees.
At 8 o'clock
this
at night?
isn't. Yes, yeah. This is a very interesting game. First of all, these times are off. No reason the SEC championship game should be played at 3, and this game should be played at 8. Learn from the NFL. Flex. Next up, no, excuse me. This is a confusing game to me because Louisville has their starting quarterback. I think his name is Jack Plummer. That is son of Jake Plummer. He has 21 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, almost 3,000 yards on the season passing. Now, Florida State's leader and quarterback, Jordan Travis, has a leg injury, which will keep him out for the rest of the season. And from what I read, the backup
has a concussion.
Is day-to-day-ish.
From when a dirty hit playing against Florida. In the fourth quarter.
Hey, that is even more of a reason to fire Billy Napier. He has the program is out of control. Okay, cool. I rock with that. Get him out of here, man. Unhand me, Billy. Get away from my team. So, for me, I think I'm going with Louisville.
Yeah, I don't want to. I would love to see Florida State. I want chaos. And you know what chaos I really want? I want all the favorites to win. That is chaos if that happens, because then you still have One loss Texas. That's a champion.
You're just evil human.
Undefeated Michigan, undefeated Georgia, undefeated Washington, undefeated Florida State. That's 5 teams for 4 spots. What do you do?
Well, you make the conference champion. I mean, you make the playoffs 8 teams instead of 12, but that would be too simple.
This year, what do you do? Who gets in? Let's have that discussion. This is what I want. This is if all 5 favorites win. Texas wins. Georgia wins.
Let's discuss that post SEC.
Okay. I'm picking. Well, then I want Florida State. Chaos. I want chaos.
Okay.
Chaos. Letting y'all know. I want all 5 favorites to win.
Are you betting that?
No, I'm not betting that on a 3rd string freshman quarterback. Come on, man.
I mean, you never know. You gotta ask, man. I gotta give you first right of refusal.
50%. It's a 50% shot. I'm gonna say yes or no.
Anybody want FSU? Let us know. I'm willing to bet that one as well. And then finally, here we have the SEC championship at 3 p.m. in Atlanta, Georgia, where UGA will
Eastern Standard
Time. Oh, you're right. But yes, UGA will play Bama. This will be a very interesting game. UGA, who's not lost a game in, unfortunately, 1,000 seasons, versus Alabama, who is only one loss was to LSU early in the season.
Texas,
excuse me. Texas early in the season. LSU lost to Texas, right?
LSU lost a lot of games. They lost to Alabama. Texas lost to Oklahoma.
You're right. There it is.
On the last play of the game.
So this has been an interesting game. I've told y'all all season that I think the Georgia's a pretty good team, but this is not the Georgia team of the past 2 years. This team has looked extremely beatable. They looked a little bit more regular than the Monstars of the past. With that said, I've said kind of the same thing about Bama. They don't look like the typical dominant team that they've been in the past. I tell you, almost weekly, I think that this has been Nick Saban's toughest coaching job, and I give him the most credit for this season. I think that in the past, his roster has carried him more than his coaching. In this case, I don't, just the quarterback situation alone has made it difficult. If we started out the season, they don't have a startable quarterback. And for Jalen Milroe to show up continuously like he's done all season and come into some form as a quarterback, that is beyond amazing to me. I'm picking Bama in this game.
So, all due respect to Saban. Outside of the quarterback and figuring that part out, that roster is loaded. They've got 3 first-round picks on the defense alone. Like that, maybe you don't know their names. I think that may be it. You don't know their names, but I mean, Dallas Turner is a top 10 pick. Kool-Aid McKinstry is a top 10 pick. What's the Terry and Arnold? Not top 10. I'm sorry. Kool-Aid is a first-round pick. Terry and Arnold is viewed as a first-round pick. Like, they still got the offensive lineman. Like, Jermaine Burton. Like, they are good. Now, I think Georgia stacks up with them talent-wise. I think for the first time, Georgia's talent is just as good or better than Bama's talent to me overall.
Wait, I thought that for the last 2 years.
No, I think for the first time, Georgia talent-wise, roster-wise, is favored to beat Bama over, well, maybe last year, but
when the 2 years that the whole defense got drafted, yes, I thought those guys were better.
But their offense, but their offense was like really, really, really good. Yeah, Sneaky Kool-Aid may be the top person in the draft. The thing about Bama in this game, their leading rusher is going to have to be Jalen Milroe because Jace McClellan is out. That is a Herculean effort, which he can do. I mean, we've seen it. But that's a tall task. And Bama's defense, while I still think they're really, really good, I think Georgia's interior offensive line is better than Bama's interior defensive line. And I think Georgia will be able to run against them better than Bama will be able to run against Georgia. And I think that will be the difference in the game. I think everybody for Georgia is back. That's why he rested everybody against Georgia Tech. So I think if everything else is a push, Milroe and Beck, wide receivers for Burton versus Brock Bowers, DBs versus DBs, McKistry versus Kamari Lassiter. Like, I think the interior offensive line is the difference.
Thank you, Sneaky. I 100% agree.
UGA right. They did get steady. They get steady drafted. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm sure you're taking UGA in this game. I'm taking Bam in this game.
Yeah, 100%.
6.
Yeah, I got to do it. My dad was like, "You coming over?" I was like, "I'll come over for the Texas game. I will be back at my house in the seat with the shirt on for the Bama game, and then I'll come back for the Michigan game." I said, "I'm not watching 2.5 years, dog. Almost 3. I've been in that same spot for every game, except for one time, and we lost the SEC championship."
Yo, between you and Mike, boy, y'all are some of the most ritualistic. Hey, I gotta be where I gotta be. Well, I guess
I wasn't like that until we started winning. It didn't matter when we were losing. I go wherever. Yeah,
my team ain't been. It don't matter where I sit. They find a way to lose. All right. All right.
Is that it? That's all the championships. Right?
I'm not taking the bait. I mean, this is gonna be. I think that this is a fair game to bet a 6-pack on. We're not betting on any of the other games. It's a dice roll for me. I'm here for it. You want 6 on it?
Sneaky?
No, you.
I said yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, that is all of the college football. That is both enticing, exciting, and saddening for us who are college football fans.
I feel like it went by really fast this year.
Too fast, way too fast. So yeah, that will be a full day today, and then we will move on to Sunday NFL games. You ready?
Yeah, man. Cowboys beat the Seahawks.
I don't know what opinion to have after that. It's just a game that they won against a team that's won more games than they lost. Congratulations to the Cowboys. I still think that you're both a good team. It wasn't as
impressive to me. It wasn't impressive. I mean, Dak had a good game, but I mean,
the Seahawks. I think it's like the Seahawks are right. Like the Seahawks are the most Cowboy team the Cowboys could beat. Like, you're not the most impressive team. You look at Geno and you're like, you know what? You're doing pretty good for what we thought of you, but we also don't think that you're a world beater either. But you're a lot better than a lot of these guys who have coaching jobs. I mean, who have quarterback jobs. So it's just, it's something. It doesn't tell me anything that I didn't already know. It doesn't give me any new information. First game that matters, though, the one that matters, and it's probably going to hurt our feelings or maybe not. Falcons versus Jets. Who you got?
I mean, I got to pick the home team, right?
Will they pick us?
No. That Jets defense.
They don't ever choose to love us the way that we choose to love them, and that hurts.
And you know, I'm not even worried about I am worried about the Jets defense, but like,
this is the game where they try to score a couple points. Like, they could probably get a touchdown or two against Dez.
I'm fine. Look, if we give up a defensive touchdown, I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is if Zach Wilson or whoever the other person is that they have on the roster at quarterback that they're going to play, because I think he's down to third string now. Whoever's going to start comes in and uses our defense as like a springboard, like every other freaking quarterback, like Kyler Murray did. Like, I don't want that to happen against us, because Garrett Wilson can get open now.
It don't bother. Well, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish, and then I'll give you my whole. I have so many different opinions here.
So, with that being said, I'm looking for the Falcons to win this game. I don't know, 17-12, 20-13, 20-16, 20-19.
Don't hate me for what I'm about to. Are you complete before I jump into this? I want to start out with, I don't care if we lose. There is a small portion of my heart that says I hope we do lose. Because every time we win a game, we get further and further away from a quarterback. I'm gonna tell you that right now. We went from drafting 8 to drafting like 16.
Not Tank Norwood.
Hey, man. Once you put Desmond in the game, dog, we're tanking anyway. You don't care about what we're doing in the future anyway. You're not trying to win, bro. So if
Go
you're
ahead,
not
go
going to try
ahead.
to win, then don't fucking win the game. Don't. I saw Michael Penix Jr. walk out of my life. I saw Jaden Daniels walk out of my life. We never had a chance at Caleb Williams. So like we're just going to end up being we always are, which the team will win enough games to be interesting to somebody else. But at the end of the day, we're not going to compete for a championship because we don't have a quarterback. Because y'all don't care about quarterback because y'all put Desmond Ridder in the game. Let's be very honest about it. And the thing is, we'll probably win, and he'll get shell shocked and be so embarrassing he might get put out of any game. I think that is more than plausible. Our team could play good. He played bad. We still win, and him still. You just never know with him. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if I'm Pitts or I'm London, I'm checking destinations and temperatures for other cities. Because if you what are we doing here? Because if we win again, we're getting further away from a quarterback, and still no closer to okay, we'll go to the playoffs and get whooped. What do you think Desmond Ridder looks like in playoff football? That's the same thing I feel, Reezy. Same thing.
You're over there. She was like, like she heard you.
She know it. My dad and mom over there going through it right now. Man, Sauce Gardner, go get you 2 touchdowns or something, dog. Turn out, man. Keep us in the quarter. The game that we need to win is the game of quarterbacks.
Unfortunately, all of this means even if we lose, we are still going to make the playoffs because our division is so horrid. We are going. You think I'm playing? We are going undefeated in the division. We are going undefeated in the division.
Desmond
and it's over with.
Ridder. Hold on. Look at this. Desmond Ridder, 1,900 yards, 7 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Zach Wilson, 1,900 yards, 6 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
We got Zach Wilson.
Spider-Man meme. What? Yo. And this ain't Drake and J. Cole either. It ain't that type of meme.
Oh, so, Texas gonna beat them by 100. Lord.
So yeah, I kind of hope that we lose, but I don't know what to say about this. It's embarrassing.
That boy said I'm going for the Falcons and hope that we lose at the same time. Either way, we win or I lose. Either way.
Either way I win. Either way I win and either way I lose. That doesn't make me feel great, but that's life. Next up, Colts versus Titans. Until proven otherwise, I'm rocking with the Colts, man. Shane Steichen has that team playing well. The Tennessee Titans, I don't think that anybody's let them know that their opportunity to win was like 3 years ago. Ever since then, they've just been spinning their tires. You should have freed Derrick Henry a million years ago.
That franchise look cursed, don't it?
It just looks bad. It looks bad, but they're kind of like the Falcons, where you have like a little bit of hope, but at the same time, you also don't have any hope. Like Will Levis looks just good enough. Like, all right, you might have found your quarterback, but your 2 best players you're going to have to get rid of before he can get to where he's going to be able to deliver. So you're just spinning your wheels and wasting your time. Congratulations for nothing. I'm picking the Colts in this. I think that Shane Steichen has coached the Colts into a hell of a season. He should almost be in there for Coach of the Year as far as I'm considered, if not DeMeco Ryans. He's doing a whole lot with very little, and that looks like their coach of the future. And when they get a quarterback, they look like they could be scary.
The Colts?
Yep.
Man, the Titans are cursed. Y'all are the Falcons of the AFC. There's really not much you can do. You gave us your offensive coach, and we are in the same boat as y'all. Y'all 4-7.
Y'all can have him back too. Hell, just send us Eric Bieniemy. Y'all can get Arthur Smith back, and we'll be good.
They shammed us. I'm going with the Colts. I think Gardner Minshew is a better quarterback. Is a better quarterback than anybody else. Is a better quarterback than anybody on the best quarterback on the field. I think everything else, I don't even know who the Tennessee Titans receivers are because the old boy got hurt, the one that came out of Arkansas. And DeAndre Hopkins has been invisible. So I got to go with the Colts because I just don't believe in Tennessee, unfortunately.
Next up, this is going to go fast. Chargers versus Patriots.
Hey, Auntie.
The Patriots The Patriots are terrible. The Chargers coach will be fired here soon. I think the Chargers have to win this because the Patriots, Mac Jones just doesn't finish games. He plays the first 3 quarters. Then Belichick says timeout. Bailey Zappi goes to the game. They lose the game. And then Ben Belichick tells everybody to be ready again. This is the worst situation I've seen in a really long time. There doesn't seem to be an answer other than firing Bill Belichick, which I both believe that they won't do and should do. So he's become the new train wreck since Jimbo Fisher's been fired. So we just watch every week and see the foolishness. Chargers, I guess.
This is the train wreck bowl. Brandon Staley has been told he will be relieved of his duties.
Oh, he fired. That
indirectly, bro. He is a zombie coach. He ain't got no say so. It is over with. It is over with for him. This is bad and worse. The Chargers have a better. At least Bill Belichick has drafted that team into mediocrity. The Chargers have a good roster. They have multiple Pro Bowlers. They have a dude that got 6 sacks 3 weeks ago. They have a really good roster. They have a really good.
You have a guy whose numbers are top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. Like Keenan Allen is a dog.
Justin Herbert is 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, almost 2,900, almost 3,000 yards. What is it, the only person to blame is Staley. I think the Patriots situation is terrible. But if I had to choose which situation is more toxic, it's got to be the Chargers because there are no answers to why you are bad except for you. It is Brandon Staley. It is nobody else. They gave you everybody you possibly needed. The Chargers, look, the Falcons going to be in the same situation next year with Arthur Smith. We're going to give him another top draft pick. We're going to trade for somebody, and it's going to be you. Because when you don't have the right coach and you have a good roster, you will be 4-7 with a top 5 quarterback, a top 10 quarterback, a top 5 receiver, a top 5 running back, a top 5 defensive end, a top 10 safety. You have all of that on your roster, and you are awful. Brandon Staley can go to hell. I'm picking nobody in this game. Nobody. This is going to be a -1 and a -2. This is an awful game. I ain't picking this. I ain't watching this. They should black this game out. They should play this at a high school stadium. I would call in sick. If I were anybody on both teams, I'm calling in sick. I'm calling out. I know they got some type of way. Hey, everybody gonna have a baby on the same day. Look, I'm adopting somebody today. I am not playing this game. There's no way I would play this game. This game is awful. This game is trash. I'm not picking this game. Lions Saints. Let's move on. You can bet whoever you want to. Bet yourself. Drink 12 because you have to be drunk to watch this terrible ass game between the Chargers and the Patriots. This is
bet
awful.
Yourself. Then just get real drunk and forget about it. I mean, you're right. Everybody involved in that probably. And then they got in trouble. Your boy got in trouble for saying that their team sucks. And they do.
Why? Why you don't get in trouble telling the truth? We get told since we were children, you got to tell the truth.
That is the part that I was a little frustrated about. I was like, hey, we got eyes. They do suck. You got to be honest about
what it. What pride is there in 2-9 and 4-7? What pride? No pride. What? Shut up. See, when you that bad, I'll be telling the coach, like, shut up. You can't talk to me that way. You suck. And it's the coach, you suck.
Hey,
trade me. Cool. Trade me. Get me the hell out of here. I'm out of here.
It's not the Patriot way. It's not the Patriot way.
Or the Charger way. There is no way. There's nothing. Void.
All right, next up, Lions.
That's what I'm putting in this game. That's a void on the schedule. Lions Saints.
This is.
Let's go Saints. Let's go Lions. Let's go Lions.
Whoa. You had one too many last night, big dog? Need to lay down?
I actually went to sleep. Let's go Lions. Boo-boo the Saints.
I think that the Lions, who perpetually let me down anytime that I invest in them, support them, want to see them win. But I need you today, Lions. I don't think in the history of my existence I've ever asked the Lions, hey, can you do me a solid? Today is the day that we ask that of you. Just beat this team, this shell of a team. Your boy who you predicted to be out is out, Michael Thomas. Injured reserve.
I be knowing, dog.
Please free Alvin Kamara. He don't deserve to be there. Shout out to the Saints for not starting Jameis. That was a terrible idea. Shout out to paying Derek Carr all that money, $150 million for absolutely nothing. You guys are the biggest loser because you knew he was trash. Now, you're not the biggest loser because the Raiders still play Jimmy Garoppolo for nothing. But y'all are
Boy, that is another Patriot way
you are
toxic situation.
you are battling to the bottom. Let me tell you that much, buddy. We are supporting the Lions in this game. Dan Campbell, get it the fuck together, bro.
Bite the kneecaps, Dan. Bite the kneecaps. Step on the floor to leave.
World beaters. Sometimes y'all look like y'all can get beat by the world. I don't know what to think of you guys. Find some consistency and find it today.
What that sound like to you? That sound like the Lions.
Yep.
Sounds like they are who we thought they were.
Touchdown, but this is the first time that they've had hope. Like in the past, it was like, oh, they're going to Lions, time to get their ass whooped. Now it's like, hey, Bucko, we kind of support you. We expect something out of you. And
I want a supreme disappointment and hurt for the Saints at all times. So I'm going with the Lions.
You're right about that. Next up, another game that really doesn't matter, but I guess it does kind of matter a little bit. Cardinals at 2-10 versus the Steelers. I think that there should be a statue for Mike Tomlin right now. If there's a guy who finds a way to get more out of less, show him to me. If you can show me a guy who can coach around my team falling apart and fighting in the locker room, show me another guy. His team will be in the news all week about, hey, we hate each other, we punch each other in the locker room, beat each other on the face. Hey, we went out with Kenny Pickett and won a game. We scored 13 points. The other team scored 4. Huh? You gave up 2 safeties, yep, and we won. What's up?
So tell me what Desmond Ritter's stats were. 1,900 yards.
1,900 yards, 8 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. And let's be very clear about those Desmond Ritter 7 interceptions. Me and Reggie been keeping count. It should be like 13. People just can't catch.
Zach Wilson was what? 1,900 yards, 6 touchdowns,
7 interceptions.
Kenny Pickett, 2,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Kenny Pickett just is awful.
Doing less with less.
I'm picking the Steelers because I'm rocking with the blacks. And it's got to be Mike Tomlin and the Goon Squad with the black Air Forces other than Kenny Pickett. And I feel like everybody wants to put hands and feet on Kenny Pickett because he is awful. Like,
and started with George Pickens.
George Pickens just said, yo, I'm not going to be silent. George Pickens part of that new generation. I'm not going to be silent. I'm fighting for everything. That boy, he started throwing his helmet on the ground. He said, look, he sucks. I'm telling you, he sucks. He is terrible. He said he's awful, and he's awful.
Nobody hears Reggie's baby in the background laughing.
Like, yeah, he's awful, Dad, because she be knowing the truth. She be watching. She went to sleep when they watched it. Yeah. Deontay Johnson is so frustrated with Kenny Pickett and everything that's going on that he didn't even go for a fumble and said he didn't see it when it was at his foot. Like, that team is sick. He said, he said, no, I'm not
getting that, bro.
What? Get out of here.
You dropped it. You pick it up. How about that?
Yeah, tell him.
Yeah,
tell him.
Yeah.
With that being said, the Cardinals are bad. The Cardinals just traded away a player to a contender in Zach Ertz, which we knew that was coming because he just stopped playing. I ain't never seen nobody
trade him.
They released him. He just stopped playing. He just said, you know what, I'm not playing anymore. I'm going on IR until y'all release me. So
hey man, and they just released like, hey man, we wish you best of luck, dog. Go if you can't get it here, go get it somewhere else.
Yeah. I'm going with the Steelers here. Y'all can't lose this game, man. Y'all actually have a chance to make the playoffs because the Bengals arm done fell off. His hand done fell off again. So boy, Texas.
Boy, leg fell out, leg fell off, arm fell off. Boy, you like Kadeem Harrison and Vampire Brooklyn, boy. It's falling apart.
I mean,
that ain't funny because that coach falling apart too.
Joe Burrow. I mean, we had
it's a different conversation.
ACL, wrist.
I mean, these games are not. These games are games. Next up, we got the Dolphins versus Commanders. The Dolphins who tricked us into believing the best offense we were ever going to see in the world. And then what happened to them? Reality. They're 8-3.
They're the Cowboys.
I think that they should win. The Commanders are terrible. I think that Ron Rivera, he's another guy who's just still at his job, but they're gonna fire him any minute now. When they get rid of half of your defensive line mid-season, I think that's a sign that you're next. Jack Del Rio was fired last week off the defense. Ron Rivera, I guess, try to get you some good plays on tape so they can get you as a defense coordinator
What's
job
up,
somewhere.
Mel? What's up,
But
Tay?
but this is over. Um,
Boy, the
I'm
Commanders are
picking the
awful.
I'm but the Dolphins don't. I mean,
The Dolphins are what the Cowboys are. They beat teams that they supposed to beat. They gonna beat them to death. The Dolphins. Oh, that's right. Tay, you are a
wait,
Dolphins
Tay,
fan.
who is your team so we can
The
clarify who's
Dolphins.
going
The
to the Super
Dolphins. The
Bowl?
Dolphins. The Dolphins.
Oh yeah, y'all can go to the Super Bowl. Y'all just buy a ticket like everybody else. Congratulations. uh, but yeah, the Dolphins win this. The best part about all of this is multiracial McDaniel is a media darling. He provides more content than probably the rest of the NFL combined. Definitely all of the coaches.
He definitely
Um,
does. Now it might be bad
he
luck because
is
that Hard Knocks done started every
yeah.
time. I mean, the Jets did it and Kapayow. Like every time you do a Hard Knocks, you get messed up.
You get knocked hard. Hey, yo, my boy, Paul.
Whatever you said.
Pre-pause, post-pause. I have stepped past the egregious line. Woo! You know what? Dolphins win. Commanders terrible. Delete all the logos with Washington, start over, rename the team, move it to Vegas. I don't care. Broncos versus Texans. Now, a lot of these games we've talked about have been flaming bags of trash. This, on the other hand, is very interesting. We talked very poorly about Russell Wilson at the beginning of the season, and we told him to wrap it up. Kyrie was not happy with the way that he was playing, and he has turned it around. Him and Sean Payton have figured something out. I don't know what they figured out or how they figured out, but now Russell Wilson is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL in a very good defensive season. He's been productive and not throwing a ton of interceptions. I think he has the highest touchdown to interception ratio in the NFL right now versus the Houston Texans, who I've been on the bandwagon from week one when they played, I think, the Ravens. I think that D'Amico Ryan should be coach of the year. CJ Stroud continues to impress.
Rookie of the
Tank
year.
Dell, Nico Collins, Will Anderson, Derek Stingley Jr., Petre. Their whole team is just, they're young, but they're talented. This is a very interesting game for me. They are playing in Houston, so I think that gives I think that gives the Texans a little bit of an upper hand. I don't know who to pick in this game. I am genuinely on the fence.
So a month ago, nobody was going to watch this game. They were going to flex this into oblivion. There was maybe 2 months ago. 2 months ago. At the beginning of 2 months ago is what, 8 weeks? Yeah. Because they started out with 0-4, right? They started off 0-4.
Can they play this Wednesday at noon?
Yeah, this was the JV. This was the Thursday at 3:30 game. Like, but now this is turned into maybe the game of, the AFC game of the week for sure. Touchdown!
This is the second best game of this week, and the other game is Niners Eagles. So let me clarify where the bar is.
But these two teams, they mirror each other. CJ Stroud is playing really, really well. The defense for the Broncos, I guess they decided to play. They were just like, nah, we're still good. And they're running the ball, and it's like something has clicked with Russell Wilson and Sean Payton. And you knew Sean Payton. Yeah, that was almost out of there. You knew Sean Payton. It's bad. It's going to be bad for Oklahoma State. It's going to get ugly.
We began to rock.
I think that the Broncos have I'm leaning towards the Broncos in this game only because of the experience of Sean Payton. Sean Payton, through the Saints Falcons, loved to coach on the road in big games against, theoretically, I guess you're in a different division.
Look how close these teams are. Both 6-5. Russell Wilson, 20 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. CJ Stroud, 19 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Williams, 538 yards. Singletary, 489 yards. Now, Cortland Sutton only has 560 yards. Nico Collins has 800 yards. But outside of that, this is the game at noon you should find a television to watch.
It's gonna be some hitting too. Patrick
Man.
Surtain versus Derek Stingley Jr. Ooh,
Yes.
ooh.
This
And
is
they
the
starting to
game
get
that you
healthy.
should watch.
I'm picking the Broncos. Stepping out on faith.
I'm picking.
I want to pick the Texans. I love the Texans. I want to go with the
too.
Blacks. Never mind. Touchdown Texas, 14-0. I want to go with the Blacks. I want to go with the Texans. I'm picking the Texans because I don't like Sean Payton, and I want the Blacks. Sorry.
That's easy. That's an easy turnaround for Ready. Ready to put that thing over. You know what? You Saints adjacent, boy. Kiss my ass.
Man.
Yeah, we both going for the Texans. Next up,
The shitter. This is what you call the shitter. Shitter.
No, you can't say that when the Chargers and Patriots are playing. I mean, hell, you can't really say that. I mean, Falcons, Jets, so we right there now. We toilet adjacent.
Are we talking about the same team? I mean, we all in the bathroom now. We all in the bathroom now. Some of us standing up, some of us sitting up at the urinal, some sitting down, some pissing down our legs, some shit in the bed. But we all in the tournament, boy. We all out there now. Woo! This Panthers Buccaneers games. This Panthers Buccaneers game, boy, it is awful. This is bad and worse, boy. 1-10 versus 4-7. I told y'all about Baker Mayfield out here playing his little heart out. He 2,500 yards, 17 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He playing his heart out. We would look fantastic with Baker Mayfield.
Baker is not the problem, though. Like that's.
But he's never the solution. I agree with you now. Now that we've come full circle in this Baker Mayfield, it's never that he's the problem. He is just never, ever, ever the solution. He is a zero. He is the placeholder till you find what you need. He will get you exactly what you want to the first round of the playoffs or respectability. He's a person that will always reach his expectations because his expectations are low.
No, I think the expectations are going to go up next year.
Why?
Because I'm going to tell you, they're going to go get. This is a receiver draft, and they're going to get a receiver. Everything that I've seen.
Mike Evans. And Chris Godwin.
But they need Godwin, I think, has faded. Mike Evans, I think he's played good enough that Mike Evans will probably retire in Tampa Bay now. I think that he knows, hey, every year I can show up and get 1,000 yards. That's his decision? Yeah, he's a free agent.
They talking about they don't want to pay him.
If you get rid of Mike Evans and then get a new receiver, that's stupid. Russ was good. Yeah, like you're not putting yourself in a position to win, but that's neither here nor there. We're both picking the Bucs in this game. The Panthers, terrible.
Yeah, I'm picking the Bucs because the Panthers. You know why y'all suck? It's not even the roster. It's not that. Y'all owner is stupid. Ooh, you mean to tell me the coach or your former coach, Frank Reich, his offensive coordinator, and the quarterback's coach wanted to pick C.J. Stroud first, and because your wife said, "Hey, go pick." I like Bryce Young. That's why you picked it. Hey, listen.
That sounds like our old coach.
Yeah.
Was she kissing the players before the game?
Oh, Florida coach. Yeah. Dan Mullen.
In the mouth.
Yeah. Look, Panthers.
Mama Mullen was kissing mouths, and I did not think that was.
The Panthers. That single stupid, if that's true, that single stupid decision has doomed your franchise for another 5 years. You could have been the I ain't gonna say the Texans. I'm not gonna say you would have been the Texans. I'm saying you wouldn't have been better than 1-10 and 0-6, and you're in a bad division. You would have been something.
I don't think that Bryce has any bearing on this team. I think everything around Bryce is the reason this team sucks. If you told me Adam Thielen has to be your wide receiver 1, I'm gonna say thoughts and prayers. If you're going to tell me Chuba Hubbard needs to be your RB1, I'm going to say thoughts and prayers. Bryce has not been given a fair shake at anything. And then you double up now and fire his coach. So you're going to have to find a new coach and start this process over. And your team is not going to mysteriously get any better because who in the hell will want to come there? So if you don't draft him, and I'm going to tell you right now, your team is going to get worse because Brian Burns is out of there.
I didn't blame Bryce though. Who would you would have taken Bryce over? I mean, CJ over Bryce. You would take CJ over Bryce no matter what. I would take CJ over Bryce. Hold
on, one thing. Before the draft, whoever you picked would have been fair. That's what I want to say. Like I know a lot of times we look back in hindsight and CJ has played this well, but CJ, like we talked about, you look at CJ's team, he got a team full of dogs and a coach with a chip on his shoulder. Now, I think that I'm not sure if Bryce would have been this good, but I think that the Texans would have been decent with Bryce, just like they are with CJ.
I again, y'all, you in the comments, I never said Bryce was a bad pick in terms of being a quarterback. I'm saying we all, from the get-go, even in the draft, thought CJ was better than Bryce just off size alone. Even if they have the exact same, even if you swap and they have the exact same ability, you were going to pick CJ Stroud first. And that fact that your team and your staff and your GM and your coach wanted to pick Stroud, it's no knock on Bryce. I think Bryce could possibly be 5-6, 6-5, 5. I don't know if he'd be 5, 6, you know where they are, but they'd be good.
Have him in Atlanta instead of Desmond Ridder.
Right. But what I'm saying is, as the Panthers organization, if everybody that you've hired decides that this person is going to be the best person to give us a chance to win, I know the Panthers have a whole bunch of problems. But if they're going to pick CJ Stroud and you go against them because your wife likes him, and I don't know. I don't know your wife. She may be a football savant, and she may have been watching, and she does all of the scouting and everything and loves to sit with the scouts and loves to go over quarterbacks and look at the stats and look at all this stuff. I don't know. But if she doesn't, then there was no reason for you to go against everybody else.
You should hire her and put her on the roster.
Right, what you did.
Coaching staff. You need to make her a special assistant, something. But yeah, if you're right, if you trust her that much, then pay her. Pay her. We believe on this podcast in paying women their worth.
Boy, I'm not going to agree with that. Desmond is 100% the problem here in Atlanta, brother. Desmond is 100% the problem here in Atlanta. Yeah. We can't even throw the ball.
100% of the problem, but he 90% of the problem, maybe 80. Arthur Smith has some responsibility in this too.
Oh, it's equal numbers. They're joined. They're together. They're 100%
also,
of the problem.
Yeah, I do want to say this. If you were a part of that Panther staff, you should be able to slap David Tepper.
All of it.
If I told you to do something and then you did not do it, and then that got me fired, oh, well, at least when you come in there and when they start asking you for stuff like it's time to go, I'm finna turn up on the way out of here. I'm not walking out of this.
You fired Frank Wright in the first
season. Place peacefully. I'm gonna let everybody in this building know everything. And
Frank
maybe
Wright,
that's
you could come be our quarterback coach. Come be our quarterback coach. Do something.
Wait, hold on. Frank, I've known you a long time. I remember when you was a backup for the Buffalo Bills on Super Tecmo Bowl. But hey, wait. We want Eric Bieniemy in Atlanta. We want Michael Penix Jr. in Atlanta, and it might not be a role for you here, son. Wait your turn. You done had plenty of jobs. Some you deserve.
That was to keep the main thing the main thing. We keep eyes on the prize.
Eric B, Mikey P, TD. That's all I'm focused on. Everything else to me is ancillary. Now let's talk about the two teams with broken quarterbacks and dashed expectations and hopes. Cleveland Browns will be playing against the Los Angeles Rams. I don't know why either one of these teams are still playing. Your season is over. You're only just now giving your team opportunities to get hurt for next season when you will try again. Joe Flacco will be starting this week, ladies and gentlemen. That is right. 38-year-old Joe Flacco. I'm 37 years old. Joe Flacco is older than me. Also older.
There's no way I would be
than dirt. And that's who the Browns have figured that they want to start the game with. Rams, you can't lose to a man that old. That's my only real. It's not Tom Brady.
You can. Yes, you can.
Got to put a caveat there. 40-year-old Tom probably beat your ass. But Rams, I don't really know what to tell y'all other than don't lose this game. Cleveland is 7-4 somehow, but it's all a joke. Eventually this is just gonna fall apart. But the Rams are terrible. The Rams are the favorite somehow.
Because they ain't got no quarterback. Cleveland is down to their third string quarterback.
Don't watch this game. Do something else with your family. It's 3:25. I'm sure we will find a better game.
So good though. It's so good.
And I'm gonna tell you, is Myles Garrett number one is a cheat code, like up, down, left, right, starting 8 cheat code. But with that said, the rest of the offense is just deplorable. They weren't really good at calling plays before when they had whatever myriad of quarterbacks, Watson most recently,
No
and just
shots,
let
Russ. No
him.
shots, Russ.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know who to pick in this game. I guess the Rams because I think that they can score more than 21 points.
Push. I
But
don't
yeah,
care.
this is not a game that I care
I'm
about.
picking the
I wouldn't
Browns. I'll
watch
take the
it.
Browns just because I want to see that. I think the defense scores. Because Matt Stafford going to give you something. He going to give you something. He going to give you one.
And I will tell you, Matt Stafford has been trash since he got that Super Bowl. As soon as he got that Super Bowl, he's like, oh, I'm done here. He should have he should have won that Super Bowl, honestly, and just retired. That would have
That
been the
elbow
best thing for
started
him.
hurting too. Yeah, he heard that elbow after the year after. Yeah, go ahead
Then he
right out
thought
to the sunset.
he put his young guy on like, hey man, well, I got Stetson. Stetson out there getting blew out, not on the field.
Touchdown. I'm
Next
going
we're gonna
Browns
go
here.
Chiefs Packers.
Sneaky good game. Sneaky good game.
This is a sneaky good game. I 100% agree. Like the Chiefs offense. No. Yes, that's exactly how I feel about the Chiefs offense. Like it's so much potential because you have Mahomes, but they have so many drops. The drops are so bad now.
Rashee Rice is their best receiver as a rookie, and it's really not close.
I 100% feel like they will be getting a receiver in the draft as well.
They have to.
They don't score many points in the second half, which means the teams are going in at halftime making adjustments and then shutting you down for the second half of the game. So you basically have to win the game in the first half. Now, this is the team that I think that they could do it against. But Jordan Love is sneakily putting himself like he's the Packers' future quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, he's had almost the exact same start Aaron Rodgers had. And then they went and got Aaron Rodgers a couple weapons. Yeah. And they were like, which he asked for, and he turned up. What's interesting about this game with the Chiefs, we're talking about the Chiefs like they are like they're having a bad year. The wide receivers aren't helping Patrick Mahomes. He's thrown for 21 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, and they've dropped 5. So he'd be at 26, really. And they're 8-3, 4-1 in the division. That's just the
touchdowns he dropped. He could probably be at 30 touchdowns between dropped in the end zone and dropped open passes.
And they're 8-3, 4-1 in the division. Like they're still there, even as bad as they're playing.
AJ was good.
I think they win this game just because I believe in Patrick Mahomes. But the Packers, man, they got a decent defense, and they match up very well against these receivers. This could definitely be a loss for the Chiefs. But I'm taking the Chiefs in this game.
All right. Then we're going to go here to Bengals versus Jags. This game, this is tricky. Bengals are toast. The Jags are going to win another cheapy game, which is going to make Trevor Lawrence look like he's good. But I personally know he's a scam. He is a full scam. And I like this because what this does is it makes people put their money where their mouth is. He's going to win another game here, and you're going to have to pay him here now. And now the question is, do you pay him for 2 years or do you pay him for 4 years? 4 years is the Kyler Murray money. 2 years is the Daniel Jones money. And if you pay him for 2 years, means you don't believe in him. You pay him for 4 years, you're pushing all your chips in on Trevor Lawrence. Do you feel comfortable with doing that? I like when people got to make real life decisions with their money. That is where I can see what you really believe versus what you tell me. I am telling you, I would not pay Trevor Lawrence 4 years. I'll give you we find a happy medium. We'll Goldilocks this thing first. But I do think the Jags win this game. I don't think that you can lose to the Bengals with no Joe Burrow, but I don't think that this helps their future at all.
You want to know why I got this smirk on my face? You hate the Jaguars. You think they're gas station sushi, right? Mm-hmm. If they win this game, guess what their standing will be?
Number 1 in the AFC South.
Number 1 in the AFC. They will be number 1 in the AFC.
I love it. That makes it better because it's like, oh, we're the number 1 team in the AFC. Sweet, good. Pay your quarterback.
They'd be the number 1 team in the AFC.
I love to see when it's the same thing I said about Derek Carr. Don't pay him that money. He ain't worth it. Jimmy G, don't pay him that money. He ain't worth it. oh, Mitchell Trubisky, don't draft him. Why would you do that? No, I'm gonna let y'all be dumb. And that gives me a chance to come in here, have wonderful conversations with my best friends about all of the stupid things that you guys do and provides us with great content. So yes, let's go, Trevor Lawrence. Go in here and big A winning for Duval today, buddy. Go do it. Who you got?
Now, the last 1, 2, 3, the next 3 games, the next 5 games, 1, 2, 3, 4 games, the next 4 games for the Jaguars, we find out who you, well, 2 of the next 3 because Joe Burrow's hurt. We were supposed to find out who you were. Bengals at home, at Browns, at home versus the Ravens. Those 3 games. I got them beating the Bengals. They'll be number 1 in the AFC.
And the Browns. Browns not gonna score.
The Browns ain't got no quarterback. They'll be still, so they should win that game. Number 1 in the AFC. Against the Ravens, let's say they lose against the Ravens. They'll be probably get to either number 2 in the AFC, because I got the Ravens winning the next 2. Their last 3 games is the Buccaneers, the Panthers, and the Titans. It is
more money.
It is reasonable to expect them at 8-3 to go 9-3, 10-3, 11-3, 12-3, 13-3, possibly 14-3 or 13-4, depending on how that Ravens games fall.
Oh, they lose to the Ravens.
All of that
don't matter.
Well, Lamar Jackson been swimming too now. He been up and down too now. But I got them winning this game, and it's interesting that they will end up being a top 2 seed in the AFC. Depending on what
Upset City, baby. Upset City. I see it. I love it. We're gonna come back in here and like, yeah, Reezy loves it too. So there it is. Jags win, and they still lose. And then we close out with the game of the week, game damn near of the season, probably.
Rematch of the NFC.
This is the game that everybody has been looking forward to. These are the 2 teams that I think that most people believe are probably 1 and 2 in the NFL. These are the teams that I think that people believe are like neck and neck, and it's the 49ers at the Eagles.
49ers feel that they should have been in the Super Bowl, and feel they would have won it if Brock Purdy doesn't tear his UCL and his elbow in the first quarter of the game.
This is a really good game between 2 really good complete teams. 2 good coaches. There's not a lot of room for error in this game as far as I'm concerned. I do think that I'm giving it to Philly. Number 1, they're playing at home. I think they do have the better quarterback. I think they have the better receiver room. And I think that most other positions outside of linebackers, I think that they're about even. Now, I think that the 49ers linebackers are better. Defensive line, it's a dogfall to me. Secondary, I kind of feel about the same way. So, yeah, these are 2 evenly matched teams, but the quarterback play and the home game, I'm giving it to the Eagles. Which means we have to listen to Eagles fans. Jesus, they don't shut up.
The 49ers defense is so good. Although they did lose their safety. They did lose their safety out for the year, torn ACL, due with the hair. All the hair. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his name without seeing it on the screen. But I think the 49ers have just as much big play ability. They're so different, yet so similar. The Eagles do have the better receiving core, like, as being traditional receivers. But the 49ers, all their players can do the same thing. They can run the ball. Yeah. They can catch. They can run in between the tackles. They can go on a sweep. They can run a post route. They can run a comeback.
I think the 49ers coach is better now. I think I think that Shanahan's a better coach.
And I think the 49ers are motivated. And they're motivated. I think the Eagles are the better team. I got to pick the Eagles.
I was ready to bet 6 on that, but
I was too. I'm close to picking the 49ers, but I mean,
At
you
home,
are.
they playing
It
in
is.
Philly too.
Yeah, and Jordan Davis seemed like he getting in better shape. You saw him chase down that quarterback. I was dog. They getting
And
healthy
Jalen Carter, boy.
together, and they about to sign. They might sign what's his name, Shaq Leonard.
And Ertz, possibly. I mean, that would be right up. That'd be right in their wheelhouse. Hey, come on back home. You get Shaq Leonard, and then all cut two guys off special teams. Yeah, in a heartbeat. Y'all practice squad, shawty.
The
Yeah,
Eagles, man,
Eagles.
they're in the midst of it. They got 49ers. If they beat the Chiefs, that means they would have beaten in a row Cowboys, Chiefs, Bills, 49ers. Then they play the Cowboys, the Seahawks. Then they end with Giants, Cardinals, Giants. So if they win these next 3 games, I mean,
If you win these games, you deserve that reprieve at the end of the season.
You would be the number 1 team in the league. It wouldn't be power rankings, overall seeding, everything. You would be if you beat that schedule. They threw it to the D lineman. They about to beat these boys to death. Texas about to beat these boys to death.
Pack it up, Gundy. Let's go on home. They throwing touchdowns to defensive tackles. Anytime a person 400 pounds, to Vondre Sweat catching a receiving touchdown. Oh no, we drinking tonight. We drinking and disrespecting tonight. That's it. That's all we do. And he caught.
Oh, what were we about to talk about that we said we were gonna wait until the end?
Oh, the only thing we was talking about was the pick your 4.
Oh, yeah. So y'all know I want chaos. Before we go. So college football, you have if Georgia wins, I want all the favorites to win. Texas, Washington, Georgia, Florida State. Texas, Washington, Georgia, Florida State. There's a 15.
Michigan.
I want all 5 of them to win. If all 5 favorites win, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Who gets in? Who do you pick to get in? Does it have to be the undefeated?
I'm not even playing that scenario in my head. I'm going to say the Bama wins. punch their ticket. Texas, they halfway there already. Punch their ticket. I really want Iowa to win to throw this thing into shambles, but I think that Michigan gets there and then they get destroyed. And then I think that Florida State loses, so they're out.
And Washington gets in.
And I think that is excellent. Bama, Texas, Michigan, Washington. And I think that Michigan is the worst team out of those 4 teams.
That would be interesting. Boy, Georgia, I'd be hurt because we would clearly be the better team out of all of them. That would suck.
I'm gonna tell y'all, hey, I will buy a Jalen Milroe jersey if you win this game.
Mike,
I will buy it,
and you will wear it on the show.
I would. I mean, yes. If you in that fucking streak, Jalen Milroe, you are damn right. You will have done a favor that my own team could not do for me. You're right. You have helped me out in ways that have never existed. Yeah, what Alicia Keys say? The unthinkable, yes. So yeah, that's my 4. What else you got for us before we close out?
If all 4, I'm going back with my theory then. So Georgia wins, they're the number 1 seed. Michigan wins, they're the number 2 seed. Now you have Washington, Florida State wins, Florida State, and Texas.
Well, Washington is in because they're undefeated. They have to be.
All 4 of those teams will be undefeated except for Texas. I think in that scenario, I think they'll put Texas in because money and because Florida State quarterback is hurt.
Florida State's hurt quarterback does allow for that.
And it's not fair though. If Florida State's quarterback is hurt and they still win, that's not fair. Like they should be in. And I think in that, especially if they win convincingly. And then at that point, you may have the Big 12 champion out because they got 1 loss.
Damn, kid, you just threw away a touchdown. You're right. I don't have an answer for that. I think that you got to put the undefeated teams in there. I don't think that there's a way where if you're undefeated, you don't get a shot. Now, Florida State, they got to. All of this is contingent on Florida State doing what they're supposed to in the first place.
Yeah.
And I saw them play against Florida, and I think that the Florida team is relatively decent. You still struggle with Florida, and that means you struggled against Billy Napier. That means you can be beat. You can be had. So I just got to see what that plays out.
I think everybody struggles.
Not against Florida.
I mean, I think everybody just has their weeks to struggle. I think that happens all the time.
Fair, but we're gonna see here soon. You got a game to win. You need to win this game, then we can have that discussion. If you don't win this game, then we're wasting a bunch of time.
Yeah,
but we'll see where. Yep.
But yeah, that's all I got, man. I just want the chaos. I want all 5 favorites to win. That would be awesome.
I don't want that. Surely don't want that.
Now, if Texas loses, then you have a chance to get 2 Big 12 teams in there. Or
Texas,
you can have Michigan lose. You can have everybody lose, and then Ohio State will get in.
If you start out 21-7 and you lose, gather your things, big dog. You didn't deserve to be here in the first place. But once again, another fantastic Saturday morning live. The next one we will start picking bowl games, I guess.
Yeah,
that's sad. And we got basketball on the way, ladies and gentlemen.
That'll be the end of Saturday morning live.
And spicy.
At the
no,
end.
we think basketball games.
No, Saturday.
We do. But yeah. With that said, you guys have another wonderful and blessed weekend. It is time for college football because it is noon here, and that means it is 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Adios, mi amigos. God is love. Until we see y'all again. Always check us